So I'm a power user of budgeting apps. I've used them all that are out there. And if you recall, Money Dashboard was my previous favorite. That went to the wall, and then MoneyHub became my subsequent favorite because it was probably the nearest equivalent with a relatively low fee. And I've been using it for quite an extended period of time, having used some of the others. So now MoneyHub has decided to close. People are looking for an alternative. So I'm going to give you what that alternative is, in my opinion, and it will depend on the type of user you are. So just to rewind, MoneyHub has decided to close its consumer-facing app and is instead focusing on its B2B business. Now, that's going to be disappointing to many people, me included, but it does mean you've got 18 months to still technically use the app before it's completely mothballed, and most users will get a 6-month free period in that. But that doesn't mean that you have to wait until it closes. Actually, most people probably already be looking for alternatives, and that includes me. Now, I'm going to run through a number of alternatives. We've actually produced an article on the Money to the Masses website where we look at all the different alternatives. Now, in my analysis, I'm going to be assuming that you are a typical MoneyHub user like me. You like the customization element of it. You liked its simplicity and its cost effectiveness. So they are going to be my assumptions when deciding on the best alternatives. So on screen, you can see a table that summarizes the costs and features of the various options that I've picked. And I'll come back to that in a moment because I'm just going to run through each of the options that we've picked. So the first of the low cost alternatives, I would say, is Monzo Extra. Now, the basic Monzo account doesn't come with budgeting features, but if you pay £3 a month for Monzo Extra, then you do get these budgeting features, which include custom categories and the ability to link banks and credit cards. And you get auto spreadsheets and credit insights from the 3 credit rating agencies, which is incredibly useful. MoneyHub didn't offer that, but that might be an attraction to you. And it has an advanced roundup feature that can help with savings goals. And Monzo also offers interest earning savings accounts as well as debit cards for free spending abroad. So there are other features you have to bear in mind. Snoop, well, they have a free version, but it's fairly limited. It's like MoneyHub. It allows you to link your bank accounts and set up spending budgets. But if you want to start tracking from payday to payday rather than just calendar months, then you will quickly move on to the paid for version, which ends up being $4.99 a month. But if you pay annually, it's $49.99. So it works out cheaper at around about £3.33 equivalent a month. In doing so and unlocking Snoop Plus, you can have the custom categories as well that you can use, which is something you would have liked from MoneyHub. Now, moving on to the premium budgeting apps, you've got Emma, which is probably one of the standout ones in terms of its design. It's comprehensive and it offers a wide range of possible plans and also products and services as well, including investing. Now, you've got a free version, which comes with the option to link up 2 bank accounts and track wasteful subscriptions, which, yes, is useful, but the paid tiers are where the app really starts to shine. You can only connect 4 accounts with the Emma Plus plan, but if you go for the pro version or the ultimate version, then that becomes unlimited. Emma also offers rent reporting, which is something that MoneyHub also offered. But again, the more features you have, the more expensive the app becomes. Then we move on to YNAB, which is short for You Need a Budget. It's a US budgeting app, which does seem to have some followers in the UK. You can take out a free trial like you can with all of these apps that have paid for subscriptions, so you can try it out. But it's not one that many people in the UK will necessarily use, but it can link UK bank accounts to its feed. Then you've got some alternatives out there that are kind of emerging. So you've got Pocketsmith, which is a newcomer to the space. It has a free version, which supports manual imports, and you can have up to 12 budgets and have up to 2 accounts in the app. But if you opt for the paid version, which is $9.99 a month, you get more unique features like tracking assets in multi-currency accounts, automatic bank feeds, and the opportunity to see into the future. Actual budget, well, that is something that's an open source budgeting solution, which allows you to own your own data by offering you the opportunity to host the app on your own server. A little bit more complicated, and I'd argue probably not for those of us using MoneyHub, because it's probably a little bit beyond my technical capabilities, but it's there if you are interested. So if we go and look at the features that the apps offer, then you get what you pay for when it comes to Snoop and Emma. So I would argue that manual accounts are quite important, because when I use MoneyHub, I love the fact I could add manual accounts, because not every account that you have, particularly investment accounts, can link via open banking. And if you want to see all your net wealth in one place, then you need to be able to add manual accounts to your budgeting app to update them yourself, well, you can do that on Snoop. You can do it on Emma, but only if you pay at least $9.99 a month to one of the higher plans. So Snoop kind of wins that particular category. Split transactions, I don't know if they're important to you. I didn't use them that much in MoneyHub. It gives you the ability, if you pay a bill, to put part of it in one budget and part of it in another budget. You can't do that even with the Snoop Plus version, which is $4.99 a month. You can with Emma, but again, it's on the top plans. You need to be paying $9.99 a month. I would say that when you're looking at this, the reason I would exclude the final three, which is YNAB, Pocketsmith, and Actual Budget in my particular list, is because although they give you a desktop version of the app, they are aimed at an American audience and they don't have the, I think, ease of use of the other three options. And now with Monzo Extra, the one thing you'd have to say is that do you really want a bank having access to all of your financial details if you link them up? Now, there are other banks out there that do offer this service for free. Lloyds is a good example, so you can link other banks to your Lloyds Bank app and budget that way. But I wouldn't particularly want a bank having access to all my financial information, whatever their T's and C's say that they do or don't do when you link up your banks via open banking. Now, if you're not going to use Monzo, maybe you're not a Monzo customer, then I would be looking at Snoop or Emma when it comes to an alternative for MoneyHub. And for me, I think I would start to veer slightly towards Snoop because it's a bit more cost effective than Emma. And Emma is expensive, and there are people who are very happy with the cost of it. Maybe if you save that amount of money by using it in the first year, then it might be cost effective for you. But somebody who's using MoneyHub, paying a relatively small amount a month for the privilege, then it's a big jump to be going towards the $9.99 and higher plan to get most of the features that you had on MoneyHub. Snoop is a slightly smaller leap when it's only $4.99 a month, or slightly less if you pay annually. Now, the thing I would say is that Emma is probably better from a user interface, is much better at doing the recurring bill tracking and looking at patterns of your spending and assigning them into different budgets than Snoop is, in my opinion. So if that is something that bothers you, but I'd argue that if you are a MoneyHub user, you are happy clicking around and actually assigning things, because MoneyHub wasn't the best at that particular feature anyway. It's a bit more like accounting. Now, I do have to say that I think there could be a wave of people who might use something like Snoop's free plan just to track spending within a few of their accounts and then take that information and put it into a spreadsheet elsewhere to maintain their budget. I kind of do a bit of that. I use the budgeting apps out there to look at the various accounts that I'm spending money and put it all in to make it easy rather than having to log into lots of different accounts. But I do have a budgeting spreadsheet that I use, and I'm going to put a link in the notes of this show so everybody can download a copy of it if they want to, so they can use the same spreadsheet if they wish. But I also keep a track of all my spending in a separate spreadsheet from month to month as well, in a more granular detail. So I do think there are going to be some people that might actually leave budgeting apps behind. So if I had to pick one of these at the moment, well, it's going to be a toss-up between Emma and Snoop. I'd probably use the Snoop Plus plan for now because it is more cost-effective and gives most of the features that I had on MoneyHub, and it's relatively simple, and it gives an element of customization that might not match MoneyHub, but probably is enough to keep me going for the time being. Of course, I'd love to know other people's views because they may have different ways of budgeting or other apps that they are using that are less well known. If that you do, then please do leave a comment in the notes of this particular show. It goes without saying that we have full reviews of each of these apps on our Money to Masses website, but also don't forget you will be able to take out free trials for each of these, and as long as you cancel them within the trial period, you won't have to pay anything.